About a month ago, I made a video talking about Fire Force's power system, and to say the least, it blew the hell up, which I am so grateful for, by the way. Even Nux Taku reacted to it, which I never thought was in the realm of possibility when it comes to my content, considering how small I am right now.
So this popped up in my recommended, The Insanity of Fire Force's Power System. And it's made by a YouTuber that I never heard of before. It's a new channel. So
I just want to give a big thanks to all of you for your support in that video, and it really means a lot. Now, I do recommend that you watch that video before you watch this one if you're not too familiar with Fire Force. And as I was looking through the comments on that video, there was one character that a lot of people were asking about since he was missing from the selection of characters I talked about. And that character is Shinmon Benimaru, and I had always intended to give Benny his own video, but I have no idea people would want him this bad, so without further ado, this is Shinmon Benimaru explained. Benimaru has a pretty simplistic character design while also having some of the best drip in the series. On top, he wears the upper part of a navy blue kimono, and on the bottom he wears the pants that come with the uniform of the Special Fire Force. This is also the uniform for the Special Fire Force Company 7, which he is the captain of. When in combat, Benimaru usually takes off one side of his kimono, usually the right side, which exposes a black vest with a white t-shirt under it. And to finish the outfit off, he wears a pair of black boots. Benny is one of the characters in Fire Force who has a unique eye pattern, his being my second favorite in the series after Hibana's flower eyes. His right iris is red and has a white circle in the middle with a red pupil, and his left iris is also red, but instead of a circle there is an X covering the entire iris with no pupil. They resemble the shapes used to play tic-tac-toe, but this could also be a reference to the Japanese symbol for affirmation and negation. Benimaru is a character that is affected by something I like to call that guy syndrome. That guy syndrome is when a character is introduced as the strongest or one of the strongest characters in an anime and stays that way until the very end. To give a few examples of other characters who have this, there's Stein from Soul Eater, Mikasa and Levi Ackerman, Jotaro Kujo, and Mike Guy are some that come to mind. I'm pointing this out to establish a basic understanding of just how strong Benny truly is. With that being said, let's get into his powers. Benny is a very rare pyrokinetic, being the only person in the entire series to have hybrid abilities. He can wield both second and third gen pyrokinesis, meaning that he can not only control any existing fire, but also can create and control his own flames to a much greater extent than any other third gen can. He can replicate techniques used by other people upon seeing them, such as when he used Hinawa's trajectory control against him, or when he straight up used Crimson Moon, which is Conru's technique. Benimaru has also permanently unlocked a technique called Hysterical Strength, which I also left out of my original Fire Force video so I could talk about it here. Hysterical Strength is a technique that allows a third gen pyrokinetic to use their ignition ability to its fullest potential. Like I said earlier, Benimaru has permanently unlocked this technique, being able to use it whenever he wants, while you can usually only use it after feeling the press of death like Shinra and Arthur have to. Benimaru often uses his abilities to ignite giant mop-like objects called matoi, and can use them to fly or use them as long-range projectiles with enough power to destroy multiple houses in one strike. He can also control any heat within a 4-meter radius of himself, making a heat-resistant barrier. Instead of listing off random techniques from his arsenal, I'm going to go through the unique fighting style that Benimaru adopts throughout the series, the Iai Chop that was taught to him by his master. There are 7 forms to this style, so let's start with Form 1, Kagetsu or Fire Moon. With this technique, Benimaru ignites his hand and swings it, creating a blade of flames that roughly resembles a crescent moon. Form 2, Gecko or Moonlight, is a move similar to Solar Flare from Dragon Ball in the sense that it's not really meant to cause damage, but used to temporarily blind the opponent. Form 3, Akebono or Daybreak, is an upward slash of fire that slashes upwards, like way upwards, like it parts the damn clouds and goes past that. That's how upwards the slashes upwards. Form 4, Sekijitsu or Red Sun, is just a big flame beam, fire Kamehameha. I'm positive this is only used once in the entire manga, and it's not even used by Benny himself, but instead used by his doppelganger, who knows every technique he knows, so that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. Form 5 Sokujitsu or Sunset is the downward slash version of Form 3, being its complete opposite down to their names, Daybreak and Sunset. This is another technique we do not see Benimaru use himself, but this time it's used by the doppelganger of his master and adoptive father, Hibachi Shinmon. Like with the last one, we know Benny knows this technique, so I'm talking about it. Form 6, Toke or Dusk, is a complete mystery, as there is apparently no uses of it in the manga at all. I tried searching the Fire Force wiki, the Fire Force Reddit, Google, Bing. I resorted to using Bing, and I still couldn't find anything besides panels of what people think Form 6 was. So this is just an empty slot, and always will be, considering Fire Force ended over a year ago. Form 7, Nichirin or Sunwheel, is the final form of the AI chop and is presumably the strongest of them all. With this technique, Benimaru creates a flame that resembles a sun and throws or hits his opponent with it. During the Great Cataclysm arc, Benimaru's doppelganger creates a sunwheel large enough to, wrap around the entire planet. And to put things into context, Benimaru's doppelganger is as strong as the people around him think the real Benimaru is. And the real Benimaru is regarded as the strongest fire soldier by literally everybody. Now here comes the crazy part. The real Benimaru one-shots the doppelganger that is said to be the meaning of the strongest. Meaning that this planetary-sized sunwheel wasn't even as strong as it could be. We never get to see Benimaru at his most powerful throughout the entire series, and that is just insane to me. The Crimson Moon Sunwheel is not an EI Chop form, but it is an evolution of Sunwheel, where he combines it with the move I mentioned earlier, Crimson Moon. This technique is strong enough to completely destroy the doppelganger of his master, Hibachi Shinmon. Aside from his pyrokinesis, Benimaru is extremely proficient with his physical abilities as well, so I want to talk about those here. Benimaru is a master of hand-to-hand combat, being able to take on both Arthur and Shinra at the same time, as well as the entirety of Company 8 with relative ease. His speed is nothing to laugh at either. Benny is incredibly fast, being able to easily counterattack Shinra's rapid, which allows him to move 5 times past the speed of sound or at hypersonic speeds. His physical strength is nothing to laugh at either. Benimaru is built different and has been able to beat grown men with his bare hands since he was a child, even matching his master's physical strength at a young age. He can easily pierce an Infernal's core with his bare hands, and can even further enhance his strength with his pyrokinesis. In the event that someone actually manages to hit Benimaru in the first place, he will not take much damage. He's able to take hits from Kadon, who did this to Shinra, not to mention the 4-meter heat barrier from earlier, so it's a question if your attacks will even hit him in the first place. For some random ass reason, Benimaru is able to resist poison strong enough to kill large animals. I don't know why, but anything that makes him even more broken than he already is cool with me. I didn't know exactly where to place this, so I'm gonna just stick it here. Benimaru can use the Breath of Life, a technique that allows him to focus more in battle and enables him to sense his opponent's intent to kill. Benimaru uses this naturally in a fight, making him extremely hard to hit. Alright, it's outro time. So, at the time of this being recorded, it is currently 24 hours from when this video is supposed to be up. So, yeah, got a rough 24 hours ahead of me. Got like, what, 12 hours editing to do? Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry for the short video. This video was kind of late because, to be completely honest, I took a break last week, because I put a lot of work to that JoJo's video. And I felt burnout coming, but it wasn't already there, so I just want to take a break before I got there. And then I started rewatching Attack on Titan, so that took up my entire week and then into this week as well. And I'm still not even done. Like, after I finish this video, I'm gonna try to get season 4 in before next week so I can work on that video then. But yeah, this obviously isn't everything to Benimaru. I'm thinking about doing a part 2 where I go into some of the deeper meanings behind this technique, and like he's compared to like I think they're gods in, I don't know what religion they're in, but they're ACALA and KAGETSUCHI, and I want to, before I even talk about them, I want to make sure I have like right information and stuff like that so I can explain it to you guys well instead of just going into it half-assed. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
So you can handle us, so cool, big scandalous. I'll show you what I'm talking about.